Hello everyone, and you're welcome back to this channel. Today I brought you something that is very strange and at the same time very interesting. It's actually it's actually an exciting news for all international students planning to study in Brazil. So the Brazilian government has introduced a new immigration law that could change your future plans significantly. So let's dive into it. But if you are new here or you have not subscribed to this channel, I beg you to kindly do so. Joining this family we keep you updated, and it also encourage me, motivate me to do more content. So I appreciate all of you that have subscribed, and to those people that are seeing this channel for the first time, or you have been watching this channel for a long time but you are yet to subscribe, please kindly hit the subscription button, and I want you to turn on the notification bell so anytime I drop a content or an application you will see it first. So what is this new law all about? Well, the Ministry of Justice has recently defined new regulations that allow foreign students studying in Brazil to apply for residency in the country. That sounds too good to be true, right? So it's actually a game changer for many of you that is planning to build a life in Brazil, but you are not interested in marrying a Brazilian, or you don't want to have a child. Traditionally, to apply for residency in Brazil, one need to live here for at least 4 years with permanent residence authorization, and after this period you could then apply for citizenship. However, if you are married to a Brazilian or have a child in Brazil, this period can be reduced to as little as 1 year. But what if you are a student, you doesn't want to go down that route? So this new law provides it's actually a fantastic opportunity, which allow foreign students to apply for residency based on their educational status. So this could be one of the federal government measure, one of the federal Brazil federal government measures to retain good brains in the country. So by ensuring that talented individuals who come here to study can also contribute to the Brazilian economy and society. So you can imagine completing your degree in Brazil and then seamlessly transitioning to a resident without the extra hassle of traditional routes. So this move is actually designed to make Brazil an even more attractive destination for international students and to keep the brightest mind here in Brazil. So why this law is particularly appealing if you are someone who has always wanted to live in Brazil but doesn't want to have to marry a Brazilian, or you don't want to start your family, like you don't want to have a child. So because it's not everybody that want to have a child, just you actually want to stay in Brazil, this is your golden ticket. You can focus on your studies, build your career, and establish your life in Brazil without additional personal commitment. So take advantage of this new law. Make sure you stay updated with the latest requirement and processes from the Ministry of Justice, because it is important to have all your documentation in order and follow the guidelines provided by the government. Now let me quickly talk briefly about the specific steps you need to take to apply for residency under this new law. First, you need to gather your academic records, proof of residence, and other documentation required by the Ministry of Justice. I also believe that it is crucial to follow the detailed guidelines and submit a complete application to avoid delays. So one common mistake applicants should avoid is not providing all necessary documents. It's also important to keep your student status active. Usually when you are coming to Brazil under item 4, which is the student's visa, they give you 90 days, and once you get to Brazil you go to the Polícia Federal, where they're going to change it for you to 1 year. So you are expected to be renewing it every year. So after the first one that you go for, when you're going to renew it, they will ask for like a what is it called? They will ask for something to make them believe that you're actually still enrolled, like a course form. They want to see a course form that is showing that you've registered a course and you are still under the institution. So, but what we are saying now is that, take for instance, after your masters and you are done, you still want to remain in the country, then you can now apply for this particular residence permit that we're talking about. Because right now you don't have any course form to show that you are still enrolled, you are done with your program, but you still want to stay back. So you can apply for this particular visa update that I'm talking about, and I'm still just going to show you a little about this update. So, like I said, it is important for you to keep your student documents, and while you are still renewing it, make sure that your student status is active and you comply with all visa requirements. Any lapse in your status can actually complicate the residency application process. So, living in Brazil has so many benefits. So this new law will make it easier for international students to become a part of this beautiful country. So let me break it down a little bit. So there's, like I said earlier, you don't have to necessarily give birth in Brazil, because some of you want to come to Brazil, you actually have it in mind that you don't want to have any more child, or you don't even want to have a child at all, or you don't want to marry a Brazilian, and you just want to have the residency, and so this is a very good opportunity for you. So imagine the possibility, you graduate from Brazilian university, you find a job in your field, and you continue to live in the country, without any issue. So I strongly believe that it's a very good one. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel. So usually, let me show you one of the frequently asked question is this number 6. This is one of the questions that you hear from students, that how long can I stay in Brazil after I am done with my study, So usually, once you are done with your study, you can apply for you can apply to stay back, but the application has to be renewed, often and often. They might just give you like 90 days, they might give you less than, they might, like 90 days. And usually, if you finish some courses, if you finish, they expect you to return back to your country. Like, for example, if you do PETG, you are expected to return back to your country. As a matter of fact, your result will even be emailed, will be sent directly to the consular in your country. But with this new update, you might just decide to stay back without you going back at all to your country. So, like I said, this is frequently asked questions, and this is just resident permit for study purpose. What are the things that you need to apply for resident, like the previous requirements? I'm not talking about the newly updated. I'm talking about what are the things that you need to apply for resident permits for study purposes. So we have these are the list of this is the list of things that you need to apply for residence. Okay, but now this is the updates. So foreigners studying in Brazil will be able to apply for residency in the country as defined by the Ministry of Justice. So I'm going to read this part. So ministry issued a rule to regularize professionals trained in the Brazilian educational system who did not fit into any immigration hypothesis. So, like I said, the idea is to retain, good brains, best brain in Brazil, and to make them integrate into the culture of the land. So, the federal government has determined that immigrants with degrees or postgraduate from Brazilian educational institutions will be able to apply for a residence permit to work in Brazil. The measure was instituted by the Ministry of Justice and Public Security and published in the official Gazette of the Union this Thursday. So I'm talking about this last week Thursday, because this was published September 6, 2024, around 5 p.m. in the evening. So according to the ministry, professionals trained in the Brazilian education system did not fit into any of the existing migration hypotheses. As a result, when they intended to stay in the country, they requested residence permits based on the omitted cases. So the new resolution, like I told you earlier, that initially, once you are done, it is expected of you to return back to your country, or you apply for, for like you want to stay back for some time, but they will never give like a long time. But with this update, you know it is no longer like the same. So the new resolution will meet this demand and will make it easier for qualified people to remain in Brazil legally, says the director of the Senator's Migration Department, Luana Medeiros. So the decision was approved by CNIG, National Immigration Council, a collegiate body chaired by this person in Ministry of Justice in São Paulo. So according to the rules of the resolution, the immigrants must have completed most of the course at a Brazilian institution accredited by the Ministry of Education and completed the evaluation process in person. Authorization will initially be granted for a period of up to 2 years, because like I said earlier, they might give you like 90 days, but in this case they might initially give you 2 years. So before you can now be discussing what else. So with possibility of changing it to an indefinite period. Do you see that? Upon request and with proof of need. So if you want to change it to like indefinite, you can do so at any time. After the first 2 years, they're going to give you. So the residence application can be made by the immigrant himself or by the country that hires him by presenting documents such as diploma, academic transcripts, employment contract, and criminal record certificate. So you as the student, you can request for this authorization that we're talking about, or if you secure a job, your employer can also do that on your behalf. So that's the new and the strange adjustment that has been made to immigration status of foreigners that are studying in Brazil. I hope you find this video helpful. Please don't forget to hit the subscription button, and I want you to turn on the notification bells if you are planning to study in Brazil. Especially, you need to be part of this family. I will see you in the next video. Ciao ciao.